first day of the series. So this is a series,
Oh.
and we're learning a set series. So these two have practiced it before. So if I will be speaking it, not necessarily showing it. She's a good one to look over to. I think Chantal is enough familiar to look over to as well for what some of the movements are, and then I'll come over and give you some guidance too.
Okay.
So, yeah. All right, so let's begin. Let's come to a gentle seated position. Find out what's gentle for you today. We open up the flesh on the sit bones. And then feel your connection between the sit bones there down to the earth. And on the inhalation, draw up on the earth's energy. And as you exhale, let everything that's come before slip softly from the shoulders, melt deeply into the floor, and just let it go. Another deep inhalation, lengthening the spine, inhaling the prana, the life force. And on the exhalation, let go of time. Another deep inhalation, lengthening the spine, inhaling the prima, the pure love. And on the exhalation, let go of space. What is the observation of the breath outside of time? What is the experience of the breath outside of space? And free of time and space, what remains? Watching the natural, effortless, uncontrolled flow of the breath through the nostrils. The basic yogic breath is in and out of the nostrils. There are a few practices where mouth breathing is utilized. In this practice, we'll not be engaging those practices. Let's see how many times I can use the word practice in the next 6 sentences. And just let it go, watching the natural, effortless, uncontrolled flow of the breath through the nostrils. Nothing else to do, nowhere else to be. How fully can you be here now? If you notice the mind engaging, difficult to slow down, let the mind know that its task is to watch the breath. Our minds love to have a task, and they can only focus on one task at a time. So if you notice yourself going off into a place of thought, just ask the mind a question. Was that on the inhalation or the exhalation? And that will remind the mind that its job is to be watching the breath, and it will bring it back in a very gentle manner. This practice is about learning to love ourselves and to treat ourselves with gentle, loving kindness. We're watching for those places where we're harsh or judgmental with ourselves, and seeing if we can find ways to replace the harshness or the judgmentalness with softness, with kindness. Let it go, just let it go. Watching the natural, effortless, uncontrolled flow of the breath through the nostrils. Deep inhalation, lengthening the spine. Exhale and softening. Inhaling again, we'll share in 3 ohms. And feeling our energies coming together, merging, mixing, mingling, and meshing into an energy spiral of love and light, spiraling upward. And feeling that energy reflected back down, enveloping us in warmth and light. Namaste. Thank you. So before we get started, is there anything anyone cares to share? Anything going on today? What you're feeling? Gratefulness and gratitude, challenges, sighs. Sweet. We're going to do this month and see where it goes. Yeah. For a month. So this series is for this month, and then we'll see what happens after. Okay. Yep. I'm leaving after this for 2 weeks. Okay. And then I'll pick up after that. Great. Yeah, because there's five Thursdays in May, so we should catch you once more. And so the first one will be so today. 7th. Yeah, 1 plus then 8 will be the next, because today's the first. Yeah. Then the 3 weeks following. Yeah. Well, yes, I'll miss you. Okay. Okay. My name is Nari, and your name? Jacqueline. Jacqueline. Yes. Thank you, Jacqueline. All righty. All right then. Apparently there is a class sign-in sheet, so you can sign in at the end if you haven't already. But it is on that 4-legged table there, and I believe the donation goes into the box. If you haven't had a class here before, it's $10 the first time, $15 or for drop-ins, and then you can buy punch cards. And I think that's all that I need to tell you. Oh, yes, bathroom up the stairs, to the right, to the right. To the right, to the right. All right, so I will bring us onto our backs then. Actually, I'll stay sitting. I'll bring you onto your backs. So for the opening breath practice, we practice this in Shavasana. And Shavasana can be practiced with your legs extended, feet apart, maybe 18 inches, 2 feet apart, so a little bit wide. If that's uncomfortable, please let me know. I can grab you a blanket. You can roll it, put it up underneath your knees, or you can bend your knees. Keep your feet a little bit wide and drop the knees together. So what we're looking for is complete relaxation in that pelvis. And just let it go, letting the arms be away from the sides, the palms up. And bring the attention to the natural, effortless, uncontrolled flow of the breath through the nostrils. Aware that there's no past breath to compare it to, no future breath to anticipate, not even a current breath to concern yourself with. There's only the now breath. And can your awareness of this now breath become so great that it fills your consciousness? Let it go. Just let it go. Can you feel the breath as it brushes the nostrils, both on the inhalation and the exhalation? Without any effort, without trying to make anything happen, you're simply watching the flow of the breath, feeling that breath as it brushes the nostrils. The Hatha Yoga is an opportunity to get in touch with the physical body. In the spiritual practices, you often hear about waking up. With the Hatha Yoga, there's the practice of waking down into the body. Allowing ourselves to feel whatever it is we're feeling. Learning how to welcome everything that we're feeling, even if it feels somehow to you like a painful feeling, whether it's physical, emotional, psychological, or even spiritual. Learning how to temper the vessel so that we can open up to more energy, and thus to our true nature, that of the infinite, eternal, perfect, divine, pure love. Can you let the rest go? Just let it sink deeply into the floor and let it go. Let Mother Earth absorb the negativity. And with each inhalation, can you feel her filling up those places that you've emptied with beautiful energy, And let it go. Just let it go. Watching the natural, effortless, uncontrolled flow of the breath through the nostrils. The Hatha Yoga is an opportunity to get back in touch with the physical body, to remember it as your friend, your ally. The breath is a vehicle that connects our minds to our hearts, so that if we initiate each movement of the Hatha from the breath, we can find ourselves in alignment with our loving self. If we're not finding that happening, again, in the interest of gentle loving kindness, we simply notice it. And in the noticing, most of the time it will shift. See if you can feel your belly soft in this breathing, so that as you inhale, the belly opens up and expands, and as you exhale, the belly drops back down toward the spine. If you're not noticing it, simply send your intention for that to be so. And allow yourself to breathe. This is a natural, effortless, uncontrolled flow of the breath through the nostrils. You're not making the belly expand, you're intending it to expand, or it's simply expanding. On a physiological level, what's happening here is that as your diaphragm pulls down, when you inhale, it actually moves into that space in your abdomen. So where does the abdomen have to go but outward? And as you exhale, that diaphragm moves back up underneath your rib cage, and the belly is allowed to fall back towards the spine. And we're going to move ourselves towards diaphragmatic breathing. Now, this is the breath that we're born breathing. No one had to tell us how to do it, but if you look at an infant or a very young child, they're breathing the way that we breathed up until maybe around 2 or so. And that breath starts at the base of the torso and moves upward with our inhale. And on the exhale, it moves down from the top of the torso to the base. We're going to gently build that breath. And sometimes we need to intention it, but if we have been practicing this for some time, we'll actually be able to feel it simply happening. It is sometimes instructive to exhale and place your right hand on your abdomen as low as it will go, with your elbow resting on the floor. So your hand might not make it to the center of your body. And simply see if as you inhale, you can feel that movement of the abdomen outward. And if you aren't, then this gives you a tactile sense of where that is. And what needs to happen is a softening of the abdominal muscles. No need to push the belly out. If you soften as that diaphragm comes down, your belly will naturally come out. Exhale, let it fall. We're going to intention the breath now up the body. So as we inhale, either intending or feeling that abdomen extending outward, let's see if we can move that breath up and expand into our rib cage. See if you can feel that rib cage opening with the inhalation. Exhaling, let the rib cage fall and the belly fall. Good. If you'd like to exhale your left hand up towards your chest, go ahead and do that. Let the left elbow rest on the floor. This is so that you can feel that chest. That's the area that the breath is moving towards. So as we inhale, we feel the abdomen expand, the rib cage. And I like to start at feeling my sternum first lift. And then exhale, let the sternum fall, rib cage, and belly. How low in the body can you feel that emptying? Inhale from the base of the torso, expanding the rib cage up towards the chest. Exhale, feel the breath move from the chest through the rib cage and the abdomen. And if you imagine your body and the breath moving through it like a wave, imagining high tide, the breath moves a little higher with each inhalation, just like the wave moves a little higher on the shore until it reaches its top, its apex. For us, that's somewhere around our collarbones. Exhale, feel it move back down, and just like on the low tide, it goes a little further out into the ocean, each iteration until it reaches its lowest point. Returning to your ocean of bliss. And if you do have your hands on the body and you'd like to return them to the floor, we're going to inhale and let them float back to the floor gently. And see if you can continue this movement of the diaphragmatic breath, and now bring the attention to the back of the body. Inhale into the base of the spine, and imagine that breath moving up the spine all the way to the top of the shoulders there. You're mirroring the movement on the front of the body. Exhale, feel it move back down. And what I'll say now is go ahead and keep breathing this diaphragmatic breath pattern. And I'll say now that my words may take longer than you need for a breath, so continue your inhalations and exhalations as you need. And simply follow what my words are, wherever you are in that breath. Let's inhale, your next inhale into the base of the spine, all the way up the spine. And as you exhale, feel the shoulder blades spilling out across the floor like freshly poured paint, and just let it go. Inhaling into the base of the spine, feeling it come all the way up into the shoulders, and the shoulders get so full with the breath, it crowds right up into the neck, and the neck gets so full with the breath, it crowds right up into the base of the skull. And on the exhalation, can you feel the back of the neck lengthening and softening, the chin moving towards the notch in the neck, creating a passageway for the mind to slip back down to the heart, returning to its source, and just let it go. With your next inhalation, feeling the breath coming up the sides of the body, filling, and as you exhale, can you feel the breath splashing over the armpits, draining down the arms and out the hands, and just let it go. Another inhalation, feeling the breath come into the hips, filling the pelvic girdle with the breath. And on the exhalation, can you feel the pelvic girdle becoming soft, porous, and translucent, allowing the light of the divine to shine through you. On the next inhalation, feeling the breath come into the hips, moving up the sides of the body, filling the front and the back of the body with the breath. Exhaling and let it go. Inhaling, feeling the deep diaphragmatic breath coming in. Exhale and just let it go. Another deep inhalation into the center of your being. Exhale and feel yourself moving out in all directions, multidimensionally, simultaneously, with no boundaries. What does it feel like to experience no boundaries? And let it go. Just let it go. And keep breathing. Somebody has come up. I'm going to check in with them. Hello.
Hello.
Are you here for Hatha Yoga?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Is Javi around?
He is, but he's in the class right now. So, yeah.
Okay, so I'm just wondering if I can get up into that room up there.
Okay, I'll let him know that you'd like to. What is your name?
Jean.
Jean. Jean, okay. All righty. So with the awareness on the breath, let's activate the legs, drawing the legs together. We're activating the feet. So if you get one item out of today, breath awareness, feet activation, those are the two basics of this practice and of all Hatha Yoga practices. So I encourage you to keep bringing your awareness to the breath, allow the breath to initiate your movement, and keep bringing your awareness back to your feet and that flexing of the feet. Inhale, bringing the arms across the floor towards above the head. Long stretch, and on the exhalation, let's float the left knee towards the chest and reach up and cradle the left leg. Now, where you cradle, behind the thigh or around the knee, is going to depend on your anatomy, your flexibility, your openness. Beautiful. Let's see if we can feel our heel in alignment, splitting the left buttock. So if your heel is coming in towards your right leg, move it out a little without moving the knee. And breathe it. Beautiful. Keep bringing the awareness to the flexed feet, to the flow of the diaphragmatic breath. And see if you can cradle yourself in gentle, loving kindness. Good awareness, Jacqueline, on the feet. Beautiful. Yeah, everybody's necks are nice and long. The chin tucked slightly in. We're going to release that left arm, bringing it out to shoulder height, palm up, bringing the right hand to the outside of the left knee. Exhale the left knee down and to the right side into our first spinal twist. Now you can let the left shoulder come off the floor. That's fine. And then as you breathe, feel that shoulder finding its way slightly towards the floor, a little more with each exhalation. Beautiful. Softening that left hand, let that wrist be relaxed, and the fingertips extended. If you haven't already, you can exhale the head over towards the left shoulder, inner gaze extended beyond those left fingertips as you breathe and feel yourself coming into the twist. Beautiful, everybody. Nice straight alignment. Yeah, feel that. Each breath softening you a little more. On your next inhalation, allow the knee to come back up to the center. You can place your left foot on the floor with that left knee bent and drop the left knee out to the side. Again, watch those feet being active. Feel your hip points and see if those hip points, you can actually bring your hands down to the hip points, see if they are facing the ceiling, or if one's lower than the other or higher than the other. You want to adjust that left leg. You can move the left leg a little further down the right leg, or you can move it higher up. You'll also want those hip points to be in alignment to each other. So if one's above the other, like towards one is more towards a shoulder than the other, then adjust. You can also reach under your left buttock, pull out the flesh, set it down again. Those are a few ways to adjust. Looks good, everybody. And breathe it. So the Hatha beginning practice, as a standing wave practices it, is designed to open up our hips. We sit a lot in chairs. We sit a lot on couches, in cars. And what that can do is tend to shut us down in our hips. By activating our feet, we open up those hips, and with these movements, we invite our hips to spaciousness by breathing deeply into the hips. On your next exhalation, you're going to feel the left knee come back up to the center, reach up, cradle that leg once more. Feeling your alignment here. And on the inhalation, fill the back and all the spaces between the vertebra with the breath. And on the exhalation, drawing your head, your shoulders, your breastbone up off the floor. You can extend the knee away from you to straighten the arms and feel yourself start to come up. Some of us might come up all the way. Our bodies might come upright. Some of us may not be there. And that's fine. You're simply lifting with your heart. That's it. Beautiful. And on the inhalation, let yourself come back down, keeping a hold of the leg. And now we're going to slide our right hand down the shin. And our first level is to take a hold of our right hand of our left ankle. That's it. And then we're going to breathe the left knee out and away from us as we lift the shin towards parallel to the ceiling, and then breathe the foot across the body so that our left thigh comes in line with the left side of the body. That's it. Keep breathing that left knee open. Beautiful. That's it. Just gentle on that knee if you're going to press it away. Flex the foot first. Come across again. You took it out of flex. Yeah, there you go. Now keep coming across and keep lifting. Beautiful. And keep breathing. That's it. Beautiful. Where's the breath? And the breath is through the nostrils. Good, Chantal. Nice and open here. Yeah. Watch that foot and that's it. That's it. Yeah. Good, yeah. If the hand can reach the foot while it's still flexed, that's fine. Beautiful. And now you're going to reach up with that left hand, place it on your left knee just to stabilize it. And you're going to reach over your ankle now with your right hand and either draw your left heel all the way up to your right hip point. If you can do that, draw that left heel all the way up. That's it. And then let your knee come down and away. Beautiful. Flexing that foot. Beautiful. Left arm, inhale, bringing it up over the head and anchor the right side with the breath. Beautiful. Keep breathing. And on your next exhalation, you're going to bring that left knee up, bring your left arm down, and let go with your right hand. Bring the left arm inside the left leg and bring that hand to the outside, either of your ankle or your left foot, and draw the left knee at a 45-degree angle from the spine with your heel stacked on top of your buttock. Good. Right arm across the floor above the head. Feeling that right side long. Beautiful, everybody. Keep extending through the arch of your right foot, feeling that energy coming out the arch of the right foot. Maintaining that right arm above the head. We're going to see if we can keep that left knee where it is as you inhale the sole of the left foot toward the ceiling. And drop that left knee like it's going around your ear toward the floor. Beautiful. If possible, yeah, the left foot is there you go. The left foot stays in a straight line. Beautiful. And just keep breathing the knee out, relaxing the shoulder down. That's it. Beautiful. Feel that. And then keep breathing this straight. Beautiful, everybody. 2 more breaths here. And when you finish the second breath, you can release the foot from your hand and joyously extend it toward the ceiling. If you're not able to keep the knee straight, extended toward the ceiling, start to lower the leg. It could even be just above the floor. That's fine. And now we're going to breathe that left foot the left leg in the hip socket, and the foot is going to follow. It's like a windshield wiper. Inhale, the toes roll outward. Exhale, the toes roll inward. All this movement is coming from the left hip. Great. That's it. Consciously with the breath. The next time you roll the toes out toward the left, let the leg come out and down. It doesn't matter how high up it is. You want those hip points to be facing the ceiling. So you do want the outer edge of your left foot to be touching the floor. So let that leg come down gently and slowly. Rolled open. I'm going to come over. That's it. Yep. Beautiful. And keep coming down. And breathe. Deep diaphragmatic breath. Looking good. And And on the next inhalation, extend the energy down that left leg. And then exhale the leg back up. And rotate the leg in the hip socket. Inhale, toes point left. Exhale, toes point right. With the breath. Next time the toes are out towards the left, bringing the arms out to shoulder height, palms up. Exhale the leg across the body into a straight leg spinal twist. If you'd like to keep the intensity on that extended left leg, keep those toes rolled toward the ceiling and the heel toward the floor. And breathe it. Let the head roll into the twist. Beautiful, everybody. On the next inhalation, extend the energy out through that left leg and bring it all the way back up. And then reaching up to cradle behind the thigh. Or you can, if you're in that space, you can go down to the calf, just depending on where you are. Inhale and fill all the spaces between the vertebra with the breath. And on the exhalation, float that breastbone up. Let the head and the shoulders come off the floor. Extend the leg into the hands. And if you can come all the way up. And if that's not an option, be where you are, continuing to lift that breastbone. Good, beautiful. Shoulders down away from the ears, heart opening. And on the inhalation, release the leg. Let the head, the arms, the legs, everything float back to the floor, coming into Shavasana. And just let it go. And feeling the left side of the body cradled and caressed open, while the right side eagerly awaits the same. Following the full, even flow of a deep diaphragmatic breath. And we're going to move to the right side now. Let's activate the legs, drawing them together. And activating the arms, inhaling them across the floor towards above your head for a nice long stretch. And exhaling, gently cradle that right leg as you draw the knee towards the chest. Letting the leg, letting the heel come away from the left groin, left leg, so that it splits the right buttock. And remember, you're holding the leg gently and lovingly. Can you imagine how you would cradle a newborn child? And feel yourself loving yourself that tenderly. Deep diaphragmatic breath. As you get the lay of the land here on the right side, noticing if this right hip feels tighter, more contracted, or less contracted and more open. Each of us has a cold side and a warm side. Occasionally they'll switch around, but most of the time they stay pretty constant. And we're going to come into spinal twist, inhaling your right arm out to shoulder height, bringing your left hand to the outside of the right knee, and as you exhale, breathing that right knee down to the left side, coming into your spinal twist. Beautiful, everybody. Feeling that straightness on that extended leg as you're twisting around the axis of the spine. Feeling those feet active and feeling the head gently roll into the twist if you haven't already. And it's fine for that right shoulder to be up off the floor. As you breathe, you will likely start feeling it softening into the floor, towards the floor. The inner gaze is extended beyond the right fingertips. And notice what it feels like to breathe diaphragmatically when you're in a twist. A little bit of a different experience. Here you might feel as you inhale the right hip and the right shoulder moving apart. And as you exhale, you'll feel them moving apart again in a little bit of a different way. And on the inhalation, feel the knee float back up to the center, placing your right foot on the floor, and then drop that right knee open. Sole of the right foot is alongside the inner left leg, both feet active. And notice, you can place the fingers on your hip points if you would like. Notice if those hip points are parallel to the ceiling and floor, and parallel to each other, or one's above the other or below the other, more towards one shoulder or one foot. You can adjust that right foot up and down. You can pull the flesh out from underneath the right buttock and breathe it. Go inside, deep diaphragmatic breath. This is a pose of receptivity, complete vulnerability. Sometimes it can be uncomfortable for us. We're showing that underbelly. And that can feel vulnerable. If we surrender to the divine will, we can soften into it. If we notice ourselves going to our mind because there's not a lot to do here, we can remind the mind about following the breath. Two more full breaths, and then you'll bring the knee back up to the center and reach up to cradle the knee when you've reached your second breath. And then filling the spine and all the spaces between the vertebra with the breath. And on the exhalation, float your breastbone upward towards that leg. You can bring the knee away from you, extending those arms, and feel yourself floating up. Check to see if your shoulders are up around your ears. If they are, roll them down and away and lift with the heart. That's it. Beautiful. Breathe it. And on the next inhalation, let yourself roll back down, keeping a hold of that leg. And once the head touches back, we're going to inhale and let the left hand slide down the shin, taking a hold of our ankle. the shin towards parallel to the ceiling. The knee away from us, and exhale the knee across the body so that our right thigh comes as much in line with the right side of the body as possible. Bring your hand, Jacqueline, over. That's it. Now, breathe the knee away from you and the foot across. So you want to bring your right leg in line. And then the challenge is to have this coming up here. There we go. And it's your left hand comes up to hold here. That's it. Yep, and let go with this one. There you go. Now you have some more space. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's it. Beautiful. Keep breathing that right knee away. Wow, Chantal, look how open this right side is today. Wow. Okay, now you're going to rest your right hand on your right knee. Make sure that your left hand is on top of the ankle and draw that heel as high as you can up to your left hip point. So I'm bringing this heel all the way up, rested on my hip point. Then I release my right hand and let that knee come down and away. Beautiful. That's it. If that's too much, you can let go with your left hand and let your right ankle simply be on top of your thigh. Y'all look good. That's it. If you can, flex that right foot. The more you flex that right foot, the more you open up that right hip. Yeah, that's it. Good. Very challenging here. Okay, exhale the right knee up and then bringing your right hand to the inside of the leg and then the outside of your ankle or your right foot. Yeah, so open the knee out and bring the arm down the inside of the leg. That's it. And then over the top of the ankle or the foot and exhale the knee back at a 45-degree angle from the spine with your heel stacked on top of that buttock. Inhaling the left arm across the floor and above the head. Let's not come up into half a dead bug yet. Let's just keep that heel down on our buttock. Yeah, good. And breathe it. And with your left hip, feel your left hip come down and away, lengthen right hip, sorry, not so far. There you go. Yeah, and keep lengthening this right side. Beautiful, everybody. Looks so good. Yeah, Rhonda, that's great. Okay, now we're going to inhale the sole of the foot toward the ceiling. Exhale the knee down towards the floor like you're bringing it out around your ear, around your right ear, and drop that knee towards the floor. Beautiful. Keep breathing it. Lovely. On the next inhalation, extend the leg, releasing the hand, and extend the leg joyously skyward. And then breathe that leg, a range of motion, the leg in the hip socket. Inhale, the toes point right. Exhale, toes point left. That's it. And the next time you inhale and the toes are pointed out toward the left, let the leg come out and down. It doesn't matter how high up it is. You want the outside of the right foot moving towards the floor and your hip points kept square. So if you have your legs so high up that your right hip point is sinking towards the floor, then lower that leg. Be gentle. That's it. We're not trying to get anywhere. This is not a contest with yourself or anyone else. It's not a comparison to today to yesterday or yesteryear. Just simply feeling right leg and hip socket. Shoulder height, palms up. Exhale the leg across the body to the left side. You want to feel it in that hip as deep in your spine. Breathe. Head rolls into the twist with your inner gaze beyond those active right fingertips. Let it go. Good. On the next inhalation, the leg comes back up to the center. You're going to reach up, cradle either behind the thigh or at the shin. Inhale and fill the spine and all the spaces between the vertebra with the breath. On the exhalation, let the breastbone float up. Leg comes away from you, extending those arms, lifting with the heart. Beautiful. That's it. Breathe it. One more inhalation. Exhalation, and then inhale and come on back, releasing the foot, returning the shoulders, the head to the floor. Let the arms rest out from the sides and breathe into Shavasana and just let it go. See if you can fully let it go here. Left side and the right side of the body now equally cradled and caressed open. And on the next inhalation, we're going to activate both legs, drawing the legs together, feet flexed, arms across the floor and above the head. And on the exhalation, as evenly as possible, please draw both knees towards the chest and reach up, cradling either behind the thighs or around the knees. Where you hold depends on your anatomy, your openness in the pose. What you want to feel is the neck can still be long with the chin slightly tucked. And that's your guide. And breathe it here. We're going to let go of the left arm. Let that come out to shoulder height, palm up. Bring your right hand outside the left knee and exhale both knees down to the right side. If you can breathe them towards the chest and then down towards the floor, that's great. You want to feel the knees stacked on top of each other, so you might press through that left hip, reaching down with your right hand, and see if you can feel those knees even. Let the head roll into the twist. Inner gaze extended over the left fingertips. Inhaling, feeling the knees float back up to the center, switching your arms. Right arm out, left hand outside the right knee. Exhale the knees if you can towards the chest, then down towards the floor. And let yourself come into spinal twist here. Feeling the knees stacked on top of each other as much as possible. So this time you might need to press a little extra through your right hip so that the right knee stacks on top of the left. That right arm can be, shoulder can be off the floor. And then as you breathe, you'll feel it as it softens and releases towards the floor. No goal. Again, there's no goal here. Just feeling into our bodies and where they are today and what they need, and giving them gentle, loving breath attention. Inhaling the knees back up to the center. We're going to cross our left knee over our right knee. Left arm out at shoulder height. And if you can, exhale the knees towards the chest, then down towards the floor, guiding the knees with the right hand as you go. Again, the left shoulder can come off the floor, that's fine. You're going to the right, so thank you. Left arm extended, yes. Thank you for that. Keeping me honest, that's it. Inhaling the knees back up, and now we are going to cross right over left. Right arm out at shoulder height. Exhale the knees first towards the chest if you can, and then down towards the floor on the left side, guiding them with the left hand. Let the head roll into the twist as you breathe it. Beautiful. Let it go. Let that right shoulder soften towards the floor. We're going to inhale the legs up and now keep them crossed as they are, but switch the arms. Left arm out, and you're going to exhale the knees towards the chest, then down towards the right side. You can let that right hand come up. Some people like it on their knees, some like it down towards their shin or their foot. And breathe into the twist. That's it. Deep diaphragmatic breath into the left side here. And then inhaling the knees up and uncross and recross left over right. Extending your right arm out. Exhale the knees if you can. First towards the chest, then down towards the floor on the left side into your spinal twist. So now you have your left leg over. No, left leg over. Yep. Exhale the knees towards the floor. So this is an extreme right hip twist. Beautiful. And just let it go. Let the head roll into the twist. Feel your shoulders as they spread across the floor. And inhaling the knees up, uncross the legs. And then open the knees out, bringing your hands in between the legs, bringing them down to the outer edges of the foot. If each foot, if that's too much, you can bring it to the ankles. Soften the shoulders. We're going to inhale the shoulders down towards the floor and then squeeze them up tightly towards the ears. Squeeze them tighter, tighter, tighter. Your knees will probably come towards your shoulders. And exhale and release. Soles of the feet come together. Knees splayed out. Shoulders are soften away. Inhale again. Shoulders towards the floor. Squeeze them up tightly towards the shoulders. Tighter, tighter, tighter. Exhale and release. Soles of the feet come together. The knees splay outward. And again, inhale, shoulders towards the floor, up towards the ears, tighter, tighter, tighter. And soften the shoulders. Extending the neck long as you can. Let that chin come slightly towards your throat. And on the next inhalation, we're going to keep a hold either of our ankles, or bring the hands to the outer edges of the foot, each foot, and inhale the soles of the feet toward the ceiling, knees down toward the floor into dead bug pose. Rolling that sacrum down towards your tailbone onto the floor. For those that want to rock it in Happy Baby, you can, because I see you're doing it. So go for it. That's it. Yeah, keep those feet going towards the ceiling, Jacqueline, as much as you can with the knees around your sides. Good, that's it. Beautiful, everybody. Okay, let go of the feet. Extend the legs toward the ceiling. Flex those feet and inhale, pressing through the heels. Open the legs into straddle. You can hold the hands either outside or inside the thighs to support the legs. Press, press, press through those heels. Press, 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 press. And exhale the legs together. And then inhale, fill the spine and all the spaces between the vertebrae with the breath. You can bring your hands to the thighs. And exhale, drawing that breastbone towards the legs, lowering the legs a little bit with the legs together into boat pose. You may or may not come off the floor, that's fine, but you're balancing, you're moving towards balance on the buttocks. Beautiful, everybody. That's it. Keep lifting. One more lift. Inhale. And then exhale, release. Let everything come back to the floor, coming into Shavasana, and just let it go. And let's finish out the practice with fish pose. Legs are either extended and flexed, or you can bring them into a diamond, soles of the feet together and the heels away from your groin a little bit there. Open it up and bringing the hands underneath your sacrum, touching the thumb and forefinger, and you want to actually have those forefingers almost peeking out from underneath that sacrum past your tailbone. Inhale, tuck those elbows in, lift the heart, head comes off the floor there, and then drop the head back into fish pose. Keep extending the energy out the feet if the legs are extended. Deep diaphragmatic breath as much as you are able. If your soles of the feet are together, you'll feel the energy cycling through and then out into the earth. Keep breathing it deep, diaphragmatic breath. Two more diaphragmatic breaths. And when you've completed, come into upward facing triple diamond. In the upward facing triple diamond, the soles of the feet are together making a diamond. The elbows are bent above the head. If you have a hard time getting the thumb and forefinger together, leave the arms open a little, more like cactus arms is fine. There's a diamond we're moving towards in between the hands and the one in our arms. Let go of tension, anger, frustration, and anxiety from the being, and let it go. And on the next inhalation, extend the legs, extend the arms. Exhaling the knees towards the chest, reach up to cradle the legs. And this time we're going to squeeze the head to the knees and the knees to the head, bringing our head and maybe our shoulders off the floor and rock and roll on the spine, forward and backwards, side to side, around and around, whatever feels good to you. And then letting go of the legs, letting them return to the floor, coming back to Shavasana. If you prefer the knees bent, then that's fine. Arms away from the sides, palms up, and just let it go. Moving back to the natural, effortless, uncontrolled flow of the breath through the nostrils. The mind and the body becoming still and quiet. And we'll have an extended Shavasana. And just let it go.